Good evening, folks. I'm Baroque, and welcome back to Avowed. After milling around the Emerald Stair last time, fighting our way through mushroom folks, various plant-based entities, more spiders, more bears, more bandits, more Zurips, we will finish up going around Maxim's claim before getting into Fior Inferno proper. At least that's the hope. I don't know if we're going to be underground for 3 hours. I certainly would be surprised if that's the case. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Hope you're doing well today. Hope the day's treated you kindly. Grab yourself a warm beverage. Come join me. It's very toasty again today here in the UK, so I am dying a little bit up here, but we'll be alright. I've got some water, I've got my tea. Let's just get us bearings. We were helping old Felipe here find his research. And I kind of fell down all of this. But we've got to slowly go in and find it. Might only take a couple minutes. Might be right round the corner. But we did have a follow-up from Pest Control.
Right
the
behind
potential wasp situation. No! Why? You've turned this way. Fine. It's on. The potential wasp situation. So, fella came out over and had a look, and he said, well, first off, these aren't wasps, they're bees. Which was news to me, because when I think of bee, I think of what I was informed was just a species of bee, as in the bumblebee. You know, the big, fluffy, round beggars. And I kind of thought that's all it was for bees. Turns out, there are many, many, many species of bees. And many of them just happen to look like wasps. And this is the most important point. That bees, when they fly about, will do so in a much more erratic pattern, whereas a wasp, you can tell it's a wasp because it'll fly straight like an arrow. Right where they need to go and back again. They don't dilly-dally. So that's what we had to look. So all the stuff outside was a load of honeybees, apparently. So that's something. There's Felipe's research. Set my mind at ease a little bit. A well-worn ledger filled with page after page of tattered notes. Smells of musty spores and acorns? Question mark? Ooh, we also find a key. Open it.
Aye, aye.
A rusty key. Why is there more in here? The door. Let me up. Branch, please. Thank you. But those particular type of bees are likely from... oh, what's the name? A beekeeper. I know there's a better name. Who may have let a queen live and escape. And she's taken a load of the swarm with her, so they're just kind of leaving the scent everywhere, and it's causing a load of others to just gallivant around the roof. There's a lovely fella, though, who was really patient with me and my folks, and just talked everything through. Gave us his number, said, look, I won't charge you for today, just, you'll need me if a nest forms. I'm like, alright, thank you very much. Lovely fella. Ooh, sun and moon. Fancy shield. See, not a bad shield. Sun touch. Slowly regenerate up to 30% of your maximum health during the day. And at night, slowly regen up to 30% of your maximum essence. Not bad. It keeps you at, it keeps you from death's door, technically. Celestial bodies have been a source of inspiration and mystery alike for curious minds throughout the ages. The shield pays homage to both the sun and Aora's moons, drawing upon their presence to strengthen its wielder. Despite the shield's ornamented appearance, it is sturdier than most. The paint adorning its surface is surprisingly unblemished by the rigours of combat. Let's have a look at this shield. Oh yeah, indeed, it's a very nice shield. We're still in spellbook territory at the moment, so to camp with you, either find stuff we're going to sell, anything common we break down. Right, onward team. Where's this other door gone? I just had it. Oh, it was literally just for the shield. That's fine. Let's just go back to Felipe. And here I thought we might be down here for hours. And we're still getting a feel for how the game is structuring itself. It's only technically the third area.
You're alive? I mean, you're back. Ah, did you find my notes?
Ah, I certainly did.
Ah, yes. The cover is a little worse for wear, but the notes are intact. My findings on squirrel essence are going to change everything. Everything.
Squirrel souls? What's so groundbreaking about squirrel essence?
As everyone knows, squirrel brains grow and shrink in accordance with the nut season.
I did not know that. Is that true? Anyone verify that squirrel brains actually do that?
So I thought, what if a squirrel's soul shrinks too? Huh? I propose that the size of our soul corresponds to our brain mass.
Refresh my memory. When is nut season?
When the leaves fall. At least that's what the squirrels say.
Talks to squirrels often, eh?
I can't imagine any of my specimens are still intact. And I'll have to find somewhere to sleep.
No, you promised you'd go to a healer.
But I've got my notes. I can try again. Take this. Buy yourself something nice. It's the least I can do.
Oh, thank you.
I thought we only got people like him in parodies.
There must be more specimens around here.
Well, good luck with your squirrels, Felipe. I now need to figure out how to leave. Okay, I think this is where we dropped down. We fought a few in here. Checked the pond. Yeah, so assumably... Oh, hello. Bodhi. Give me that loot. Delicious shinies. Give me that crafting material. Yes. More money. Doesn't actually look like there's a way out from down here. We have to go through where we discovered. Kind fall damage. It never is. I still think he says that healing line too quickly. Whereas it should be kind of Isoksum. Or at least some variation in the line delivery. That's something that I'd appreciate. Just means every time you hit it, you get a little bit of variance. Oh, sun's starting to go down. Right. Maxim's claim, this bit here. Goal today, clear this out, investigate the city, see how long both take. So the way indicated in the quest dialogue is that this sinkhole has literally just opened up. Like, potentially hours beforehand. It would have been pretty cool if we had seen it fall before us. Shadow. They've seen. Ah, he's resistant to cold. Unsurprising. Get him, team. Also resistant to lightning. Are you resistant to fire?
Hey, over here!
Nope. Fire does okay. What have we got here? Some mushroom stew. Ivory spinner and spalling fire pot. Just added to inventory. What do you mean? Is that food item? It is. Also 100% health and essence regeneration speed from food. Doesn't say how long it lasts though. This dish is the thing of dreams. Succulent, moist and hearty. Though it's dangerous to acquire everything needed to cook it, The ivory spinners especially. It's always worth it. Huh. Again, higher difficulties and foods probably more doable. Oh, the recipe! The ivory spinner being a spider. 1 ivory spinner, 1 spalling, kraken horn, peeled and cut vertically, potatoes about 5 medium size, hunt's hair, chopped roughly, and water as needed. The cap of the spalling cooks more evenly when diced, but can be braised and enjoyed whole. Don't discard the body. Cut it into thin strips for fungus jerky. Ivory spinner legs are a delicacy when cracked open and drizzled with butter. Squeeze the venom and gland over simmering oil and garlic for an exotic spice that can improve. I don't know about cooking with poison necessarily. Oh no. I mean, if we had spiders that big, we'd probably try eat them. Creature parts are an acquired taste and may not be welcome in most taverns, so it's best to cook them in private. Don't let that discourage you. For those who can stomach something a little different, even the strangest ingredients can be delicious when cooked in a dungeon with the help of friends. Ah, yes, as the anime suggests, delicious in dungeon. Highly recommend, by the way. Delightful anime. Surprisingly deep world building for a show about the cooking and eating dungeon monsters. Absolutely delightful, though. Right, how we doing? Up and around and about. And the ominous purple lanterns.
Yeah.
Bear. Of course it's another bear. It's always a bear. I need to use that Kai ability to initiate more often. Oh, God, look at him. Heads down and charge. It's so cute. Nope, I'm falling. Ooh, that actually drains way more stamina just holding the button down. I did get that quick swap ability last time, which... very useful. Let's go up and around towards the city itself. Try and make sure we're clearing out these edges. Yes, there you go. Ah, look up there. This is why. There's always summit. Most of the time. Ah! Tiny hole. That's such... Look at that. That's terrible public safety. Huh? Ah! Are you alright up there? Hello? What happened? After a lifetime of research, I have unlocked the mystery of spiritual self-combustion. Today I will prove that under the right conditions, a mortal soul is flammable. Hark, the hour approaches. Oh no. Update. Monto says I am not allowed in the workshop anymore. Who crowned him king of the animancers? If he thinks he can suppress my work, he is sorely mistaken. He can't even suppress a small fire. Another update. I have established a field laboratory outside of town. Invitations have gone out, but so far no one has come to bear witness to my demonstration. Their loss, I say. When I prove the efficacy of spiritual self-combustion, I alone will reap the rewards. Hark, the hour approaches once more. And he exploded himself. I'm glad the journal told me his story, and the mystery was averted. I kind of feel like I should be able to go and tell someone, though. Maybe the fact no one came along to his little experiment speaks for itself. The poor fellow. At what point do you think I can set a soul on fire and I'll start with my own? And this should be fine. I understand we're in a world of wonder and wizardry, but self-preservation has to win out at some point. So it wouldn't go the way of, I don't know, experimenting on some of the local wildlife. Or an undead soul. Bloody necromancers, what are you doing? Absolute buffoonery. there's another set of people. Hello?
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fior obviously comes from using animancy.
We don't use animancy on our farms in Dawnshore, and our forests aren't trying to kill us.
I don't know what you want from me. The other animancers and I are just doing the best we can to survive.
Fior will be better able to survive if they accept help from the adherents.
Hello?
The adherents have already made great strides in bringing order to Paradise.
I just want to go home without being harassed. I have things to do, you know.
What happens when this madness spreads to Dawnshore?
We'll have to hope it doesn't, friend. Okay, these are human-worked rice fields rather than undead ones. Still a load of machinery, but don't necessarily look healthy. It's a door I've been in. Eh or nay? Could have been. No open doors. Back of the market. I'm all just signposting myself at this point, so I tend to get lost. Keep moving on the trail. Hello, hello. I see you, Shiny. Ah, water beetle. Thank you, little blighter. You're gonna need some upgrades. Singular water beetle? Nope, second water beetle. Literally spitting at me. Disgusting. Aim at Kai, you little shit. They got there in the end. Nope, there's one more. Oh, no, there's suddenly mushrooms. They just pop up out of the ground. I suppose they are mushrooms. I love that little charge. That's so cute.
Well, that was fun.
What is? Ooh, there's that proc. Nope. Get parried, sport. Ooh, you can wait. I can parry unblockables? And sometimes I get a double shot. I don't know what that's about. Certainly isn't like a trait on the gun. Maybe it's if I do like the charge shot perfectly timed. Hard to say. No more mushrooms. Out on your roof. There was. Singe journal. Failure after failure. My first experiment blew up the house my father built. My second experiment poisoned our wells with sporelings. I have to find a way to clean out the well. Maybe they were right. I'm not cut out to be an animancer. Then again, time's the charm. At least it can't get any worse. Those explosion marks? Yeah, it did get worse. Blew up house on your first try. Poisoned the well on the second. Blew up house again on the third. What is that up there? Good Tedek. It's probably where we head after Fior. I haven't got any quests leading there yet, though. I expect we will. So it looks like a whole last dungeon in and of itself. Ooh, shiny. I saw you, enemy markers. I'll be with you in a moment. Just need more crafting material. There.
Right behind you. Like a jungle cat.
Bye, bet. And mushrooms. Oh no, the exploding ones.
Mine now.
Yes, they're just friends with all the enemies. Let's see. Way into said tower. Oh, Shiny's in the bird nest. Beautiful. No way onto tower. Anyway, into the building. Hello? I assume this is the first house the Animancer mentioned. Not really burnt down. Anonymous letter. We have warned the governor about the consequences of inaction. The rest is up to him. If it turns out that a change of leadership is necessary, we would be prudent to consider alternatives. The old man is one candidate. His protege is another, though I do not think she aspires to leadership. It may work in her favour. We will monitor the situation. Wishing for a good harvest of friends in town. What could it mean? More political strife. We know the current leader up in Fior is not an Animancer. But there's a... I think Giata was one who was constantly pouted as being on his back. I can't tell if it's just nighttime cricket noise or more loot available, but there we are. Nothing of note in here. Unless... Ha! Or bits and bobs. Okay. What's that game? What'd I miss? Singular lockpick. There'll be the poisoned well. Those funky ruins off in the distance, I assume we will not be getting to. No.
Coming from your right.
It was absolutely going to blow up. Oh! Kill them before they blow up.
Just like the
Maybe it depends on the damage I'm doing. The lightning certainly blew them up yesterday. Day before, rather.
First, my wife runs off to Paradise, and now this.
Hello there, Bolo. Are you okay?
Not one for talking right now. On top of everything else going on, now I can't get this blasted equipment to work.
Pretend to kick the machine if you try to persuade. No, it's alright. What's wrong with it?
I couldn't tell you. It's just that the fluid doesn't line up with the tubey things or whatever.
If you want, I can take a look.
Oh, sure, thanks. I hope you can find something I didn't.
I don't think I will. Tubey thing. What tubey thing?
Hello, my friend.
Do I have to follow the tube down and around somewhere? I mean, here's your problem right here. Your tube's going straight into a stone. I don't quite know what I can do to help him. Maybe hit it. No. Not like it's popped up a quest or anything. There have been a couple of little bits like that. Oh! There's a dagger in it! I mean, that might have worked. Looks like sabotage.
Hello, my friend. Still having trouble with this old equipment.
I think we found the problem.
Oh, what happened?
We found a steel garrote. Oh, it's specific. Sabotage indeed.
I can't believe I missed something that obvious. Gods, I must be duller than a wooden sickle.
It's okay, friend. You were trying.
Thank you, my friend. I can fix it from here.
See? Not dull. Clearly the steel garrote being pretty shady, though. Pretty shady indeed. They can't have been the immediate problem as to why all the animancy equipment hasn't been working. Like, they would have had to have been doing that for a few months or something. I don't think they've necessarily been able to get out and about that long. Hey up. Vendor, where? Right in front of me, the game repeatedly says. Hello? Oh, this side. Greetings.
Ah, a new face. Welcome, welcome. There may not be much left, but feel free to take a look.
Surprised to find anyone selling goods here.
I suppose that is fair, considering the sorry state of affairs here. Most of what is here is just scrap and forgotten things.
So, does any of this actually belong to
It
you?
certainly does now. Besides, I pay a reasonable sum to Fior for any sales I make. I'm not a parasite. Yes, I am profiting on the side, but surely this is better than everything here being wasted, hmm?
It would be better if you weren't profiting when others are in need,
You
but...
expect me to do such a thankless job for nothing? Utter nonsense. Now, do you wish to see my wares or not?
Alright, what do you got? Oh, he's got an awakened Adra. It's so expensive. That's pretty good. And it breaks down into 3 other ones. Ooh. A vibrantly hued piece of Adra, humming with energy. This powerful component is usually harvested from powerful Adragarn or animants crafted from Adra. Let's go over fine ones. Alright, we get those damn lockpicks though. Without question. Right, then we sell the fine stuff. Oh yeah, that's worth it. I didn't mean to sell the boat. I needed a ranged thing. Well, it's not come up yet. Do you know what? It's probably fine. And other gems. Lovely. Tiny bit more. Market list. The loopy feminine script on the yellowed sheaf of paper reads soap, oil, carrots, question mark, salt, onion, garlic, question mark, cooking wine, chicken, question mark. At the end, a shaky hand, still learning to write, has added, cake. Very good, child. Very good. Absolutely demand cake. Where is this family? The home doesn't appear to be in disrepair. They've left the fancy glowy lights on. Curious. A little advice. My dearest Vulpinette, I know you're the one that broke this pot. It's okay. Next time, just please let me know instead of leaving it as a nasty shock for me to find when I go to the studio, alright? You are not in trouble at all. Mistakes happen. All the love in Aora, your mother. P.S. You may be wondering how I know this was your doing. All I will say is next time you may not want to leave your favourite dolly behind at the crime scene. Aww. And the Potter's note. Godzilla placed an order for a replica of a godless vase. Again. I swear she's obsessed. The way she looks at dusty urns and pots is borderline obscene. Oh, that's the pink fluffy character we met the other day. What part of dead civilization does she not understand? I make pottery in the taste and style of the living. Besides, godless pottery is too fragile. Practically shatters when you breathe on it. No. Here I draw the line. She wants a vase. She can find her own. And so she did. Oh, look, a ladder. Ah, little callbacks. Very cute.
They say he's still there, lying in the scaffold.
It's a shame, a crying shame. Oh, it's just unfortunate, that's all.
Yes, love. But to be fair, you have seen the title of his latest dissertation.
Oh, wait, is this going to be the fellow who just blew himself up?
I have. I very much looked forward to his presentation.
Sadly, I believe we've seen as much as we'll ever see.
Sounds tragic. What are we talking about?
Well, for those out of the know, we were discussing the death of Giacomo Filuccio, an immenser of note.
Can't be the fellow we saw then. He's only just popped it.
Such brilliance, cut off in his prime. Truly, he was expected to set the world of Animensia aflame.
Loads of people wearing those same glasses, just a note.
Well, I suppose he had an explosive career, nonetheless.
Oh, you.
Will someone continue his work?
I certainly hope so. Though, some might say Filuccio's work was vastly successful.
I know I see no need to doubt his theories.
Tiny bit left. That shack. And this. Hello, fluffy strange zebra cows with your blue feathers. You perplex me every single time.
You there. You look like you know where you're going.
I mean, I do not, but sure.
Can you tell me the way to Fior's market?
I don't think Fior does much commerce these days.
That makes no sense. Their grain exports are what keep the whole region fed.
Oh no. Sinking realization.
Oh no. I don't believe it. This is the market, isn't it?
I heard the crops aren't doing so well.
Oh, great. That's the last thing our boss will want to hear. I came here to cut a deal that'd feed Thirdborn for a month. I was meant to set up a supply line.
There's a dock south of the city. You might find other traders there.
That's not a bad idea. I'll still have to face my boss, but maybe this'll buy me time. I'll think of something. Thanks anyway. Gonna be a long walk back. I better get new shoes.
Shoes seem okay. A fisherman's journal. I remember when the fish swam into our nets, and the rivers twinkled with promise, when the harvest was so bountiful you could recline in the shade and let nature run its course. Now the fish ignore the bait and avoid the net, sensing no danger approaching. If people listened to their instincts, we'd have all fled the living lands by now. Oh well, another worm for the hook. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Grim everywhere around here, very grim indeed. Seems like the fisherman gave up and left, though. Judging by the state of his abode. Pardon me. Hiccup snuck its way through. Oh, it caught in my throat a little bit. Oh, I hate when that happens. Alright, that's us. It's a little patchy, but it's clear. Let's head towards the city. We'll have a quick bio break, and then we will go and investigate properly. I imagine it won't be as big or as dense as Paradise. Again, it's not the most ginormous of cities anyway, but it looks pretty cramped with all those towers and high-rise buildings. Hello again. Alright, do a quick save, just in case we enter and get shot. We're going to have a quick bio break, so stretch your legs, refill your beverage. I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. I'll see you soon. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. Just give me a heads back on. Alright. To Fior Mes Inferno. Do we get shot upon entry? I would certainly hope not. Ooh. It's nice to have it, but it's very clear the forest is overgrowing its way inwards. Captain with the shiny cape.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy.
Good to see you again. Are we going to throw down? I get that delicious cape.
Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way.
And to who am I speaking?
Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote.
Oh, you're the captain of the Garrote. Garrote, I'm sure? Well, pronunciation. This language.
If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason.
We will see about that.
These Valians and their love of animancy.
Perhaps the diplomacy should be left to diplomats, Captain.
Fair enough, envoy. Talk to the man all you'd like.
I will.
When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests.
No. I think I have some idea of what you mean, Captain.
Barter for peace, prepare for war.
Uh,
We all have our part to play, envoy.
I predict I will be killing you before this playthrough is over.
Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Shouldn't you be on your way?
I'm just going to take a lead now. Oh, dear. Yes, suddenly the foliage and greenery has just entered. I mean, it was a place of flourishing crops and such. Don't mind me. He was very upset by that. How big are we talking here? Okay, so it's not a discover as we go. Quest available. Times 6. Oh boy. Alright, well that's where we need to go. So we go up this alley first, have a natter around here, check that corner. Wind us, pardon me, away through this way. Alright.
Oh, this will be so very useful back home.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
They do such lovely work here, don't they? Hang on. I know you from Solace, right? I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am.
You're blessed ain't mad. I remember you. I got you.
So, we understand each other then.
What happens in Solace stays in Solace then, it seems.
I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment.
So you're a power grunt. How'd your people didn't travel outside of Galwain's tusks?
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about. But I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Solace Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me.
Why not?
It's not worth talking about, really. Some of my fellow wardens might misunderstand.
Okay.
But we still don't even know why you're here.
You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more.
Thank you.
Please be discreet. Solace
Maybe
Keep
we'll see you
wouldn't
later.
understand.
Honest to meal.
Think you're healthy? Think again. Clean yourself out with a healing crystal.
Clean myself out with a crystal. Sounds a little suspect. Luciliel's house. Don't know who they are, but I'm in their house. Taking their grenades. That's part 2 of a journal. Let's see if we find part 1 first. That's part 3 of a journal. And there's part 1. Nothing else hidden in the rafters. They approached me at the market, a bundle of greens in hand. At first glance, I thought its crop had withered with the usual rot, but upon further inspection, the mould shimmered with a strange gloss. I brought back the bundle to my shop for immediate testing. How did all this go terribly wrong? The crop is ruined. There's no denying it now. The Dream Scourge has come to Emerald Stair. Vidaro insists on feigning ignorance. He wants to prevent panic, but we are losing precious time. Lives could be lost. What's more, Giata has become restless in Fior Inferno. I must remind myself that I once found myself aching for the promise of something greater. I can still hear Yatzil's voice at that first night at Natu Tedek. Our future is a blaze of risk. Isn't that wonderful? But this time I cannot run. Vidaro cares little for animancy or legacy. His comfort is king. I keep asking myself what the point of all this is if we abandon animancy at the first sign of trouble. And the third? I fear the worst. For days now, Giata and I passed the gates before sunrise to record the essence in Emerald Stair's soil. The results are erratic and unpredictable. The crop, once green and plentiful, is wilted and smells of decay. The wildlife shows signs of strain. A bear emerged from hibernation months early, completely rabid. We found several sparrows fallen on the floor, or dead without any sign of attack or cause. Symptom of a larger disease. It all seems like mushroom crazes to me.
Is your soul cracked like an old teacup? Fire!
Hello? Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here.
Oh, it's not your fault.
The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the Dream Scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
And there's no way you could be responsible for the problems facing Fior.
Oh, sure. I can't take the blame for all of Fior's problems, but my negligence has only made things worse. The dead of Fior expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry.
What if we carried out the rituals in your stead?
Are you volunteering us to hang out in a graveyard?
I am.
Oh,
that delivery was great.
That would simply be wonderful. I wouldn't know how to thank you. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat.
Yeah, let us not question their customs, though. The voice.
What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I don't necessarily, like, my perception's high, but I don't want to necessarily... I did get my perception of it. Do I push it? Let's push it. Did you steal this?
I did, yes.
Oh.
With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything.
Desperate times.
I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead.
If it helps with the problems, maybe it's worth it.
I believe it will change everything for the better. I believe it with all my heart. The crops will grow again. The Dream Scourge will end. All will be well once more.
Okay, now we've entered the realm of fantasy. This is far from the craziest thing we've done today. Let's do it.
I like your spirit. I feel better about this already. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast.
The first? Whose bodies rest there?
Loggers from the old days. They sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest.
Well, we've already been there at least.
The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp.
And there's
far
the
to
other.
the west from here.
Whose spirits wander near the swamp?
They buried the bodies of settlers there. Intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stair's wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fior, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds.
Yeah, that's 2 in spaces we've already been. Maybe this will help you find some peace as well.
That is the least of my worries. But yes, bringing closure to the recent dead will finally allow me a good night's sleep. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
What if in theory I could take this to the starving rebels? Or we could speak to the grain merchant about the food, which I am not necessarily going to do. Tightly packed in burlap, these small packages contain food offerings from Elder Rosanna meant to assuage the anger of the dead. Again, maybe it helps. An edict of subsistence. By order of the governor's will and office, all greens, fruits, and grain of the earth are to be rationed by Fior's proper authority, effective immediately. These temporary measures shall be in place until further notice. Any attempts at subversion shall be dealt with swiftly. Ignacy Vidaro, thou savant of Emerald Stair.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising there.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Ah, he's full of shit,
Be patient.
clearly.
He hasn't steered us wrong before.
The apothecary shop. Martin, please apologise to your customers for the delay in sending this order. I'm afraid we can only send half of what you requested. The herbal yield in Emerald Stair was less than I'd hoped this season for quality medicinal and tinctures. I hope this shipment suffices for the time being. Sincerely, Abrit, Poya, and Velina. Everybody's struggling. Another gun. There should be a merchant around here. That side. Fair enough. Let's have a quick nosy around the corner. Party note. Ooh. No, it's hastily scrawled, but radiates with love. LM, I hope this note finds you well. What an occasion, despite the lackluster fruit. You were always the life of the party, despite your claims otherwise. I look forward to more antics soon. Till we meet again. FB. Fancy party, eh?
Jata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops.
Oh,
Look
no.
at your city.
The main quest.
The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
Slowly
The land
back
begs
away.
to differ, and I can prove it.
For what it's worth, I agree with her.
Discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now.
Okay, they're gonna linger. That's fine. I thought maybe I could sneak around, get into the party. Although it looks like nobody's really there. Hello. Don't mind me, I'm taking your shit.
Ugh, neither am I. But it happens to the best of us, no? They made up their minds before we even started.
Rejection letter. Thank you for your humble application to the Animancer's workshop of Fior Inferno. We regret to inform you that admittance cannot be granted at this time. While your proposal on using Adra implements to siphon energy to specific genital features of male anatomy was certainly unexpected, we suggest you reconsider your suggestions for practical application. Sincerely, Per Quililici, Animancer's workshop. Well, just trying to get dick enhancement pills from magic crystals. Can't imagine that went well.
It's okay, we'll try again.
But it's the third time.
Oh no, this can't be a quest about that, surely not.
You know how it is. Their standards are impossible. It isn't personal.
Of course it's personal. It's the Animancer's workshop.
It's something I can do to help.
Maybe we need some feedback on our proposal.
Yes, let me tell them this is a terrible idea right now.
Using essence to cure male flaccidity is uncharted territory. I'm sure of our thesis.
Aye, that's what your dick needs, some soul magic. This seems like a trivial matter given Fior's current situation.
It is times like these that we need such trivial things the most.
We treat this important issue with the utmost respect, even down to the proposal's title.
Oh no.
What do you think of this? Boning without bones, essence and the performativity of male anatomy.
Boning without bones. You know what? Cut the extra bit. Just leave that.
Consider this. From stick to stone, using essence to augment male performance.
Oh no. I suggest erecting the future. The burgeoning science of manimancy. Or how about abomination, wasting essence on frivolous fritter? I'm going to suggest the other one.
That's brilliant, huh? Simply brilliant.
You don't sound infused.
We've done it again.
I should have patented it.
Wait until they read this. The days of packing rope are at an end.
See, now you make it sound like it's for the money. Speaking of, thank you. I will take your donation. Good day. Where is this merchant's house?
Don't trust any Mancy. Trust me.
Aha.
Can I interest you in some glaive berries or better spells, perhaps?
Maybe you can.
Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair.
She sounds like she's trying really hard, and also calling yourself legitimate is interesting. How's business?
5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dream Scourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in.
No. People are scared and want reassurance, that's all.
I know. I wish they'd trust my expertise. But with medicine, there are no easy answers. At least I don't have to convince you.
I do need some supplies. What do you got? Oh, she got purples. Fancy purples. Oh, that's some mighty Adra you've got there. Oh, it's expensive though. I do have 10k all of a sudden. Minuetor's Conduit. A unique staff. Charged missile. 5% attack damage, 30% maximum wand range. And deals 10% bonus shock damage. Hey, that's a pretty beefy wand. Looks like a gun. This metal wand has been built in a way to allow more efficient channeling of the magical blast this type of weapon is known for. The techniques used to do this are known only to a small handful of master wand makers, but the effect has been described as being for wands what rifling is to firearms. This particular design was created by the Archmage Minuetor, known for her many spells that unleash missiles of pure force upon their unfortunate targets. A bit pricey for something I'm just going to not use and break down eventually, but cool shit. Sparks book has one lightning spell. Robbed. Right, we'll grab the Adra off it. There you go.
All ingredients are fully stocked.
Then we'll look around and take some more of her stuff. Just a couple of grenades. Everyone's so blasé-faire with their grenades. Beautiful, Hector. I write this day without hope, knowing you'll never see it. Every day I come into your tea shop, watch as your lips mutter about the noise and complain about contention. Yet the only contention I feel is within my heart. I order your tea, sit in the corner as you serve other customers, but you'll never notice. I imagine what has captured your thoughts each time you lose focus and stare at the wall of a blank expression. Each time I wish it was me you looked at with those glazed, blurry eyes. Whatever your magpie, a Brit. You shouldn't assign nickname when there has been no conversation between you, unless whenever you buy your tea, he says morning magpie, which, you know, maybe then. The bounty board. Hello, Martella.
And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim.
What's your role in Fior Inferno?
Officially, I'm one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora.
Why are you here instead of researching?
If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happens to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study.
Well, that's why I'm here. I already have one to claim.
Diverus? You work fast.
Diverus, a Valian expression of questioning or confirmation, roughly translates to really or seriously? The abandoned farms are clear of Zorips.
I see. Then the other bounty hunters did not fare so well. I am glad at least to know of their fate.
That's all for now.
Perfetto. Return when you have more to claim.
Perfetto. A Valian expression meaning well done. Right, what other bounties we got then? Eldoreno. Oh, it's a rock. Attention. A reward will be given for killing the Earth Blight known as a Beloreno. Eldoreno? A number of rangers and settlers perished in a natural disaster. Now their souls are bound together in agony, incarnated as the Blight. Please put them out of your misery.
Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Saimiko. Becoming part of a Blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy.
It's like I kind of wish that I'd gone to Paradise first rather than clearing everything, because they have these, like, the sketchy drawings of the wanted individual on the bounty, and then the commentary. I like it. Bounty. The Trantons. A reward will be given for killing the notorious Tranton bandit gang, located in the Western Forest. These outlaws are responsible for a number of raids on outlying farms. Someone needs to ensure that these raids end for good.
Oh, the Trantons. A bunch of butsos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there.
Aye aye. Old Nuna. Oh, it's bear. Reward will be given for killing an ancient and dangerous bear that has taken up residence within the grotto. Some citizens familiar with the region's history recognise this bear as Old Nuna, a beast responsible for the deaths of many rangers.
Be careful with Old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence.
And mushrooms. Tell him again. The Tree Folk. Reward will be given for killing a group of Delagan within the Western Forest. They have been acting more aggressive lately, attacking rangers on patrol and researchers out in the field.
Ah, those Delamgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
Felicia's Dispatch. Huh. Wait, what? Wanted, Sansa, a cartographer in Paradise. He has reported his assistant, Felicia, missing in the Emerald Stair. Oh, okay. A reward will... I thought for a moment we had to go and kill the cartographer. A reward will be offered for the return of Felicia's cartographic notes. Below is her last correspondence, posted due to provide clues to her whereabouts. Good day to you, Sansa. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm pleased to report new progress on my charts of the Emerald Stair. I've taken up near a curious ruin that the locals call Naku Tedek. Godless, perhaps? I will note it. Such architecture I have never seen. I know I should be diligent and focus on my work. I cannot help worrying that my presence here is a burden. Though the Fiorans welcome me warmly, it's clear they have fallen on hard times. Hope to finish quickly. I am yet another mouth to feed. Kind regards, Felicia. Well, let's hope she's okay. It sounds positively lovely. Alright, up and around. More to investigate. The Gifted Magpie. Sounds like some kind of bar over here, but doesn't necessarily look it. Dangerous Legacy by Arthur Castell. Gomez Inferno is a dangerous legacy. We exploit the land for its riches, but our way of life is only a generation old. Our children will inherit an ecosystem they barely understand, because we barely understand it. Despite our success, I worry for the future. The animancers who planted these seeds will not be the ones who harvest whatever grows. So it's not been long that they've been doing this then. Like a single generation. Taking your stuff.
Giata's causing trouble at the governor's mansion again.
You must admit she has a point. We should do something about the Dream Scourge. Not simply wait for it to pass.
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
He doesn't, does he? The glance to me immediately. Animancy for farmers. Farming in Emerald Stair is both simpler and more complicated than other lands, and it's important to understand why. Animancy is the art of soul manipulation. Because we sit atop a rich vein of soul essence, our animancers work miracles of healing, personal enrichment, research, and yes, agriculture. Machines around Fior's Inferno tap into the flow of essence and use it to give life to the soil. Don't touch the machines or disturb any animancers at work. Don't ask questions about what they do or how they do it. If you get sick, someone might escort you to the ruins west of town for observation and final rites if necessary. And some of the farmhands might not draw breath. Beyond that, it's business as usual. Crumpled letter from Tan. Dear Lien, we would love it here. The Living Lands is quite the vacation spot. Even the small mushrooms are as large as giant mushrooms. They remind me of Maura. Poor and sad Maura and her mushroom-riddled face. Oh no. Oh, I haven't met any dragons yet, but I will let you know the instant I do, then we can both have dragons. There are dragons here? Well, sign me up. Animancy is so much fun. One of the locals sat me down in front of his machine and told me that my soul is shaped like an orb. Can you believe that? I offered him a signed copy of my famous spell, Ten's Chaotic Orb. He said no thanks. His loss, right? Do you still have that locket I gave you? Whenever you're feeling lonely, don't forget to open it and think of me. I may be right back. Your friend, Tan the Archmage, author of Tan's Chaotic Orb. Stupid Lane. Each when I talk about myself when I call her Lien. Everything about me. But I will get on her good side, even if it kills me. Which it might. The Living Lands doesn't kill me first. So this Archmage is here. Somewhere. About. And if you've got a spell named after you, you've probably done pretty well for you. Let alone the title of Archmage. Probably. Ah, it is a tavern. A very loungy tavern.
Would you care for a refreshment?
Oh, one moment, Hector. Oh, you're the fella that lady was talking about. Aww. I should tell him. That lady fancies you and you should go for it, mate. If interested. Not really my place though, is it?
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion.
It's a very soothing tone.
We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice.
If I have to keep it down here and go very slowly, that's something I can do. What is that enchanting smell?
Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are mere
The deep breath.
but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement.
I really just came in for a cup of tea.
Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with
No
demand.
tea, no service.
We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years.
Look, the dialogue option! Oh my god, because we read her thing. Did you know that Brit has a crush on you?
What? I mean, I'm sorry.
This feels a little wrong, but
Could you possibly elaborate?
I'm overjoyed. The game. Actually, let me go through. Why don't you ask her yourself?
Oh, what a horrible idea. It's just that these sorts of things happen to other people, but never me. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Kai, any advice?
You're overthinking this. Invite her around for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It seems I need to gather my wits and figure out what to do next. I have no skill with romance, you see. Oh dear.
Why? Dropping the subject. Why is this place called the Gifted Magpie?
Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen.
And what did it say?
Among other things, it told my father the recipe for a blueberry tart. Popular item until the recent troubles.
Chef magpie or a baker?
Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable.
It'd be pretty fun if we meet said magpie.
But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are.
What happened to the magpie?
Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief.
I wouldn't necessarily agree there, but sure, what have you got for sale? A treasure map. A good ranger is prepared for any challenge, but the best ranger has snacks on hands. Now that I have retired, I have no further need for my coat of many pockets. Use it in good health. Don't mind the crumbs and the smell of cheese. Oh, no, it's bugged out again. Yep, it's some trees by a broken watchtower. Yep. Oh, hello, hello. Minus 10% ability essence cost and 15% shock damage. I wonder if that applies to if we had a weapon with shock damage, if it would also apply to that. These delicate looking golden braces are in actuality quite durable. Channeling electricity while wearing them is drastically more potent, and should only be done so if there is a thick layer of clothing between these braces and their wearer. And particularly powerful spells are channeled, however. Gold can grow so hot that it scorches the wearer, even through their clothing. I'm taking it, because it might work for a build later, depending on if we get a great sword. How do they look as well? Ooh. Nope, wrong button. Oh. They are very pretty braces. They're not what I would have transmogged on, but they might be something I end up wearing. And because they weigh nothing, I'm going to keep them on me. Question is, do I run back to that other lady and let her know? I have to. I did a thing.
I only carry the freshest herbs, mind you.
Damn it.
Come back any...
No follow through here. I wish you the best on your cup of tea. We flee. We run. Excuse me.
I have been thinking about the moon.
Not this again.
There is no Adra on Bilafa. None that we can see in a telescope anyway.
I suppose
Keep
that's
seeing the
true.
glowy purple near the moon.
What if someone died on Bilafa? Where would their soul go?
No one is going to die on the moon.
Not with that attitude.
Someone wrote that dialogue. Yes, maybe they're just speculating in the comfy cafe house. Or maybe we go to the moon. Frustrated scroll. Souls are made of essence. Essence is made of... why are hostile spirits visible to the naked eye? Undiscovered gods? Mapping the beyond? Soul compass? Is that something? How to hide our work from the gods? Tea? Soul tea? If I don't settle on dissertation topic, my mentor's going to kill me. You've got this, friend. No one minds. I walk up, I take their stew, I move on.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence.
Oh no.
A moment of your time, my friend. Tell me, what do you know about your soul?
Well, I'm a godlike, so I've got some divine heritage.
Wrong.
Oh.
Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory.
Oh.
But it's tired, my friend. heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel.
Went from impressing me to running me down. And how much do I pay you to lighten my soul?
That's the beauty of it. The first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh?
Lie. My soul feels lighter, as if all my worldly cares are for... No, I feel fine, I guess.
Of course you do. That's what healthy feels like.
You would have spun any answer I gave, wouldn't you?
Do remember to tell your friends about all the benefits of animancy. Enjoy your soul. Don't listen to those.
Oh, sorry, Marius, I cut you off.
Workshop. The essence enlarger is 100% legitimate.
I feel like any time someone has had to say to me, oh, it's 100% legit, I'm like, Doubt. There's the house again. I need to head around this way. Well, there are more quests and more things to see. Apprentice Animancer's Diary. 7th of Taretsu. I've finally done it. I'm studying at the academy. My dreams come true. The equipment here far exceeds anything available to me at home. And the knowledge. My colleagues are also brilliant. One has even offered me a great boon. Ollie says he has a way of enchanting one's trousers to elevate one's performance in the bedroom. Oh no. He says it's still experimental and I mustn't tell anybody. But he promises results. Perhaps I shall find a lover for keeps within this bastion of animancy and kindness. 12th of Taretsu. I'm confounded. My colleagues snicker as I pass. Their laughter is undeniable. I do not understand. Have I committed some great faux pas? Hopefully they can forgive my ignorance. 15th of Taretsu. To do. Formulate plan to retrieve pants from atop Monto's animancy machine. Formulate plan to reclaim my honor. Extract revenge upon Ollie. Perhaps try the essence enlarger offered in town square. Well, my fella got punked. Bless him. The quest is in here. Oh, I was going to say, we get a college dorm revenge quest? That would have been silly. I mean, a bit frivolous, but it would have still been fun. Both just sat there, pile of coins between you. Yoink! They leave coins bloody everywhere. Is that just back round to the magpie again? No, it is a different place. Hang on then. Way back out the city.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
Hello, Stefan. Are you blacksmith? What are you doing here? There's shields on the walls. What up?
Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late.
Show star metal. What can you tell me about this?
Is that Gelarde? This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this?
Found it.
Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well.
Can you do anything with it?
No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchant it.
Damn.
I did receive a shipment from Sola's Keep recently, however. A mace crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Galawain's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
I hope I can customize it.
Galawain's tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated.
You know we're gonna go there, Kai.
I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff.
I'll take that bet.
And I'll take your money, eventually.
Oh man, I hope that follows through.
Is there anything else I can help you with, amico?
Do animancers have much use for weapons and armor?
Nay, not really.
I mean, you could arm your undead.
Fior are animancers, you know. Besides, humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have?
Oh, sure. So you're not an animancer?
Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful mace made of star metal, crafted by the finest smiths of Solace Keep and enchanted by yours truly. It is a wonder to behold. Care to see?
Well, maybe this will be an indication of what we might be able to make for ourselves. Oh, but it's all purples, and it's all pricey. Oh, look at those fancy pictures. Fancy greatsword, fancy plates. Oh, my goodness. He's got some awakened Adra. The load, so ooh. It almost looks sci-fi. Well, I suppose it is star metal. Power attacks deal low stun to enemies and plus 20% stun. This blocky gilded mace is a prime example of Paragon artistry at work. Though the weight distribution of the weapon takes a bit of time to get used to at first, there's no denying that the oversized head of the mace is brutally effective. The solid star metal core of the weapon causes it to strike with a meteoric force that few creatures can stand firm against. Bit pricey for me to buy it just to break down. I'm definitely taking your awakened Adra. That's costing me more than all else in this bloody city. Oh, we've got regular Adra too. Lockpicks. The regular Adra. And I'm broke. Yep. Shit, there's one more shop in town. I may have just buggered myself. I mean, I could sell a unique from inside my stash, but we'll earn some money when we come back to hand in quests. The Journal of Valentio Casanova, just on a bench. Among animatic notes and scribbles is a brief excerpt that catches the attention. I've gained much in my latest initiative, and I've enjoyed myself despite my misgivings. Still, soon will come the day when I no longer need court either of them. I do long to return to my sweet solitude. Until then, however, I must work. Oceana's work remains inscrutably meticulous. I have liberated the innovations I feel will be most beneficial to my own goals. And while I bristle at Isael's continued frivolity, her insights under the influence of drink have proven that her notes contain value I could not find elsewhere. It could be said that neither deserves the ill that I am doing to them, but I argue that both will benefit by seeing their work brought to light, even if credit is never received where it is due. Well, Valentino, we gotta slap you in the face. Wherever you are. Are you in here?
I had one job.
Bone and bore.
And I couldn't even do that.
Lieutenant?
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been?
Can I help you?
If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here?
Yeah, fair.
I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate.
I've got time. What's the matter?
My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here.
If you need them found, I'm at your service.
Brasilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to...
Dip the pen in the inkwell.
I wouldn't have put it.
That's a new one. That's the new euphemism, but sure.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
That one always sounds foul. Because it's always way more than four.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Bless him.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and
These two are more than just subordinates to you, aren't they?
Helena's father and I were comrades in arms years ago. When she enlisted, I swore I'd try to keep her safe. That was all. I couldn't even do that.
You don't have to explain yourself. I'd be worried about my charges too.
The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Well, we can do that.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
Kai. Honestly. Knife in the table, and now the knife is mine.
Pour you a drink, godlike?
You can in a moment. Adelaro, my love. I want to see you again. What about our patrol tomorrow night? The wolves will give us some privacy. Don't breathe a word to Aina, though. She went straight to the captain last time. Elenara. Well, maybe they are just dipping the ink, as it were.
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming, leave Emerald Stair.
And the animancers are useless. You heard them arguing out there.
Mindless academics, the whole lot of them.
Zabby.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore.
I like that name.
Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths.
And what were they arguing about?
Our crop yield. The governor thinks we've just had a bad season, but the Coelici and the Giata figure differently.
Relici we've seen a lot recently in town. Who are you? Animancer from the Republics and one of the original founders of Fior Iverno. Must be new then if original founders are about. Having retreated from politics and research, he's taken on a new role as mentor and surrogate father to Giata Castel. Ah, see.
They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously.
Not taking it seriously is a mistake.
Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night.
Stories are true. Seen it myself.
Birds, bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed?
Agreed.
Anything I can get you?
Tell me about the bone and boar.
What are you fixing to know?
Wait, just in general, just a little history.
I opened the place after my brother cut me out of the family business years ago.
Oh.
I opened the Bone and Boar for all the customers he found undesirable. The rough types.
Seems like rough types are always the most loyal customers.
My clients may not be animancers, but they have never let me down. I can't say the same for my brother. My parents were the first owners of the gifted magpie. Mom was an
very different vibes.
And the pa wasn't. They fought constantly. Because of that, my brother Hector hates conflict. It's ruined the magpie's business.
Just getting to know folks here, like, it's interesting then to see how their business is set up and their demeanors. Maybe you should reach out to him.
I've tried many times to talk sense into that head of his, but Hector, he's stubborn.
I've just told him about a lady who fancies him.
Visit the magpie and talk to him. You'll see what I mean. Now.
Gods, do I have to run back to him again and be like, also, not just the potential relationship, also you should reconnect with your brother. What do we got? Lockpicks. Oh, I can just afford the 4.
What'll it be?
Maybe I need to start selling my food, but it's one of them RPG I can't sell my alien items. I might need them in 40 hours from now.
Or we'll get thrown out of the pub. We're already thrown out.
Well played, you two.
Really? Huh. When did that happen? Can't say as I remember.
Oh, Gata's house. Probably shouldn't be here yet, but here I am. So many pies and cheese and food. It's mine. It's all mine. Ecology of the Living Lands by Arthur Castell. No one can explain why the living lands naturally grows and thrives in an unnatural manner. We've seen plant life consume mountains overnight, creatures tall enough to knock over mighty trees, and beneath it all, a potent river of wild essence. Civilization has not found a stable foothold in the living lands. Whenever we try, there is some reprisal, almost as if the island knows how to shrug us off. Hey, what else is about before we crack on with that main quest? Hello, hello. What's all this down here? Please go no further. Stop where you are. Castell Family Laboratory is closed to the public and hazardous to life. Nothing in here is worth dying for. There is no research or renown to be discovered, only a danger we still not understand, which may yet linger even in the absence of life. It's important that you understand my parents were the greatest animancers who ever lived. They did not leave this place the way they entered. What happened to them can happen to you. Giata. Well, we haven't talked to her yet, and I feel like it would be really rude to go down here before talking to her. A big note saying you probably shouldn't. I'm like, I probably should, though. In an RPG, in real life, dear gods, no, I'm not going in there. Victor.
Welcome.
Ah, no option to tell him to speak to his brother. We tried. I'm happy enough the game gave us one. Alright, let's go talk to her first. And then see about going into the basement. Because it probably is going to come up as part of the main quest. Missing person. Maxim Vidaro. Oh. I'm offering a substantial reward to anyone who can locate the remains of Maxim Vidaro. He vanished in the wilderness of Emerald Stair 10 years ago. His journal is also missing. I will accept it as proof of the discovery. Maxim was our founder, my father, and a devout Skaenite. What's the slave queen or something? Slave prince? The one whose dagger we found? He would not have left us without good reason, so I have every reason to believe he hasn't gone far. Ignacio Vidaro, Governor of Fior Inferno. There he is.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike?
Yes, I am. At your service.
Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into
Ah,
our government.
the other guy.
Put the fear of the gods.
That's silly.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
You seem pretty young, Governor. I'm a Diran envoy. Is that official enough?
Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
Noted.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
The deeper I go into the living lands, the worse it gets.
Indeed. We were fighting the Dream Scourge before it even had a name. I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
But you do. What would it take to fix this?
Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
Yeah, a little.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark.
I think she knows what she's doing.
I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. Be careful with your assumptions. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
Damn it. I knew I should have gone in the basement first.
Dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart.
What was that about the basement?
It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime. I'll tell you all about my family's basement.
Sure, deal. First, we take care of the Dream Scourge.
I thought you'd never ask. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you
Son
are
of a bitch.
banished from Fior Iverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
You're making a mistake.
Perhaps. But I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
All we've learned about this dude so far is you're hiding.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Iverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Yes, I promised not to go looking in the basement beforehand, though I should have done. If I hadn't met her, I would have done so. But now I'm like, well, now I'm starting to know you, so...
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
I want to talk with him anyway. Maybe he's got some secrets hidden away. Oh. No crime system. Both Kai and Marcus want to talk. You seem to have a decent amount of food in here, Governor. A decent amount of food for you, Governor.
By tradition, the governor's manor is open to the public.
Oh, isn't that nice? Nice little balcony. What else has he got? Final Journal of Jonas. My son. Tomorrow I become the effigy. Tomorrow I become Skane's embodiment on Aora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. For months, we met by secret conclave to plot our landlord's demise, all while working the fields if our hearts were content. Skane teaches us to plot with the mind while keeping one's face impassive, inscrutable. Fair fights are for those with armies. Quiet slave is our whetstone, our focus. In his worship, our cause finds focus, clarity, and possibility. Tomorrow, my master chokes on his own whip. By the time you read this, I will be dead. I pray Skane does not abandon me for speaking of my plotting, but a son deserves to know how his father died. I have volunteered to be the effigy. Effigy. Skane will inhabit my body, using this old farmer's simple flesh as a puppet of godly rage. I have been shaved and anointed. Tomorrow morning, I will be your father in name only, as my manhood will be removed. my nose and ears removed. My useless mortal eyes will be replaced with flint stones through which Skane might see the world. Jesus Christ! My son, I am sorry for the lies I have told you these past few seasons, but Skane demands secrecy. Even your mother knows nothing of my furtive service to the quiet slave. Curse my name if you must, but never weep for me, for I die for the betterment of our community, to smite our Lord's corruption from the face of Aora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. Tomorrow I come the effigy. Man, that's a hell of a journal, my guy. Ooh, there's a few books in the library. What else we got? Oh, a big one. We haven't had one of these for a bit. Swig of his drink. If you haven't realised yet and you're new to these streams, I like to read all of the stuff. Animency is a science both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research done on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself? Something animancers have been working towards for hundreds of years. There are no real records of how the practice of animancy was first discovered. Once the spark of knowledge ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. In 2260 AI, animancers, as a result of their extensive research, successfully contained and transferred a soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy but infirm. The idea was to move his soul from the dying body into that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of animancy in the Adirian Empire. Again, while we have no true records of what happened, as they were all destroyed after animancy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpts from that journal follow. 2260 AI, on Prima 16. It is done, and the gods forgive us our arrogance. I am not sure what I was expecting. Certainly not that. What did any of us expect? Still behind the revulsion there is a sense of pride. Something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we worked for. Thought we'd change the world. How it's changed. All was in place. A twisted form lying on the table next to its new vessel. Equipment had been prepared. Tinctures and potions all carefully crafted. Every detail painstakingly organized to ensure success. We most assuredly succeeded. The procedure went exactly as it should. Soul, extracted from the old body, held, bound in place to prevent it from moving on. And the next step, transferred to the fresh vessel. It was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of binding. I watched the soul move, not the soul itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it, as it lowered into the vessel. A gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence. Darkness. I held my breath, prayed that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all our hard work. Then motion, then... dear gods, then... blood. How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel rose from the slab and the room breathed. Every person crowded around the table exhaled. Some cheered. We had made life from death. We had become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purposes to be listening for something, or to it. And then its eyes popped open and it moved. Its lips peeled back from teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell on the nearest man, tearing his throat, knocking him to the ground. And then the room erupted into screams, shouts, and a flurry of bodies, running, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their colleague. But right before that happened, in the split second before the chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrified silence, I heard it, sitting there on his chest, face at his neck. And it was feasting. It sounds like the first effort to necromancy created standard zombie. Skanite scripture. Oh boy. Burn. Feel thy hatred twist within thee. Feed thyself on its bile. Sustain thyself on its anger. This hatred, this bile, this anger, these shall be the tools for thy rebellion. Let thine heart seethe. There is no satisfaction in open confrontation. Hide thine hatred. Let it grow that it may fester. Make thy plots in secret. Quiet slave stays in the shadows. His face seeks not the light. In darkness doth he work. In darkness doth he move. Rebel against those that seek to control thee. Rebel against those that seek to remove thee. Almost a song you can hear being sung these days with different words. Estelle's copy of the Midwife's Memoirs. The title is inscribed, My beloved Estelle, in celebration of your quickening. I know how our Queen of Birds comforts you. Hylia's wings bear you both on safe winds in the months to come. With love, your Maxim. My mother lived every note of Song's life, bringing me into this world of... Wait a minute. Yes, we read this in that temple. Hence why it's a copy. Aww. Excuse me, Governor. Erosician calendar. Named after the inventor who studied the motion of the stars, Erosio's calendar replaced its less practical predecessor in 2680 AI. The Adirian calendar was steeped in the traditions of its post-tribal kingdom, and included days of reverence, I'm not sure what that means, devoted to political stations long since rendered obsolete. According to Isiro's observations, Ero takes 334 days, 27 hours each, to orbit the sun. I love shit like this in fantasy, by the way, make your own worlds. The idea of coming up with your own, like, time frames, span of a year, seasons, months, weeks, names of days, it's so much extra that you've got to adore that little bit of detail, even if it becomes hard to follow. He divided the 16 months of 20 days each, equally by their seasons. Whether or not it coincided with the Adirian calendar, farms and smaller communities traditionally reserved 3 days for prayer and preparation between each season. Isiro factored these days into his calendar, as well as those reserved for celebrating the beginning and midpoint of the year. The names of the months and adjacent days of celebration are listed below with Valian translations. New Year. A day to celebrate the arrival of the new year. Of all the holidays, this one is celebrated by most people around the Living Lands and the Valian republics. Each new year is greeted with a fervent zeal to begin things anew and start with a fresh slate, as it tends to be. Deep winter, Iverno. Late winter, Taverno. Spring dawn, 3 days, Imprima. Used to celebrate the transition of the world, rebirth and spring. Eophies and festivals are especially prevalent at this time, or were prior to the States' War. Early spring, Priprima. Mid-spring, March Prima. Deep spring, Fon Prima. Late spring, Tar Prima. Summer rising, 3 days, Inetsu. A period of transition from birth to growth. Many ceremonies designed to usher children into adulthood take place during summer rising. Early summer, Prietsu. Midsummer, Mejetsu. Mid-year, a day of reflection and introspection. The year is half over. People who made promises on New Year use mid-year to assess their progress and renew their oaths. I don't really think we have a mid-year point. There may be some cultures on our Earth that do. But certainly I don't hear folks going, it's usually midway through January when people are like, do you know what, I didn't keep my New Year's resolution. Deep summer, Fontesu. Late summer, Taretsu. Autumn falling, 3 days. In autumn. Harvest celebrations happen during autumn falling if the crops were particularly bountiful. If the harvest was small, supplication is given to the gods asking for a better harvest the following year. Early autumn, Pre-autumn. Mid-autumn, Maj-autumn. Here's the pattern. Deep autumn, Fawn autumn. Late autumn, Tower autumn. Winter dusk, 3 days. In Iverno. Winter dusk is filled with celebrations of life and vigils for the dead. The world is returning to sleep, plants die, and those still alive raise a toast to another year. Early winter, Pre-Iverno. Midwinter, Maj-Iverno. We're always learning. Right, Governor, now I've just been studying reading your books. Hello?
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giatta is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Messivan.
I think she just wants to save people. You really don't believe this crisis is as bad as it looks?
I believe the nature of the Living Lands is unpredictable, and animancy is our best chance at getting it under control. But what Giatta wishes to do is more dangerous by far than what she's trying to solve. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him.
My brief sojourn around has already kind of disproved that. You mind if I work with her then?
Be my guest. Take her away from here. As far as I'm concerned, she's your responsibility.
New companion, then?
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. Led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
Yeah, Kai, feels like that.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run.
Oh, I don't want to throw Elder Rosanna under the bus. But did you know I found a camp of Steelgrot paladins hiding in the wilderness?
The Steelgrot? Here?
Yep.
Well, well. Apparently nature is not the only foe in Emerald Stair.
Had to let him know.
Worse, my rangers turned a blind eye to it. Satisfy my curiosity. Why am I hearing this from the Adiran envoy? Don't you and the Steelgrot share the same master?
They're religious fanatics. We have nothing to do with each other. Or I serve the Emperor, they are God. I think fourth's the honest one.
For my sake, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for the warning. At the moment, my forces are spread too thin to root out the camp. But we'll keep an eye on it.
Maybe this will stop them getting, I don't know, completely trampled by them if Ludwig acts. I'm not going to throw Elder Rosanna under the bus, though. Farewell. What was on your desk? Ooh, Yatta's report. Governor, my research points to one inevitable conclusion. The harvest will fail. Before you ignore me again, read on. Listen. My father spoke of a river of souls flowing through the island. Souls feed our crops and power our machines. We agree on that much. What do you think happens when the river gets polluted? If you don't believe me, look at your farms. The soil is hollow. You might even have the dream scourge. Time has come to break the bones of the living lands and set them in a more agreeable fashion. It may be Fior Inferno's last hope. Only hope. We should discuss this in person. I'm confident you'll see reason. Best, Yatta. I think that was a reasonably worded letter. What about his other rooms? Stained glass in the bedroom. My goodness. With no curtain or blinds, you never get a good night's sleep. Key from the bedroom. Ooh, a Balian breastplate. What's this? Not as good. It's medium armor, not heavy. Let me have a look. Oh, it's what they've all been wearing. Fair enough. 2% damage reduction, 1% additional damage reduction, 20% move speed. The Rangers of Fior Inferno are known for their distinctive armor. Perhaps not the best attire suited for tromping around. Oh, we've seen that bit before. Despite the extra chains and padding reinforcing the armor's weak spots, the armor does nothing to slow the wearer down. Emblazoned on the front of this breastplate is the symbol of Fior Inferno, featuring the 5 stars from the flag of the Valian Republics above a symbol representing the Wheel of Reincarnation in honor of the animancers of the city. And stashing camp, when I need to break down these common ones before they get too heavy. Keep that common bow. Oh, this is a specific steel garrote dagger. This dagger, clearly of Adrian make, appeared suspiciously out of place amidst the damaged animancy equipment you found it embedded in. I should keep that. That feels like it's not labelled as a quest item, but maybe it will be important later? Potentially. Right, what else have you got in your bedroom? His journal. I've sworn to the people, on my family's honour, that there is no dream scourge in Emerald Stair. If it exists, it cannot touch our lands. When I'm alone at night, I must remind myself of that promise again and again, even if I must scream it to these empty halls. So why do I feel threads pulling away from the fabric of my community while I strain to hold them together? It's the old man and his protege, or else my imagination, but probably them. Mother's condition isn't helping my case. Neither does wine. Not all good at home, neither. And his little bath chamber. No secrets in the bath chamber.
Trees are tearing at their walls, but they still find time for a good debate.
It's true, Kai. That seems to be the case. Now, a quick save in case the butler tries to stop me. Butler's asleep at the wheel. Oh, it might be his mother's bedroom.
Is this the governor's mother?
Why is it a shame? It's locked in here. Letter to my son. Ignacy, I write this in a rare moment of clarity. Before he left us, your father was a proud, stubborn, wonderful man. Let me offer you a word of advice on his behalf. Those who rule with power are destined to be overthrown by power. Those who rule with heart are destined to be cherished long after they're gone. I can feel the fog drifting back over my thoughts. Goodbye, Ignacy. Hopefully not for long. Your mother, Esther. Oh no, she's mushroomed. Shimmering wings, gnashing teeth, chew through the dirt. Where are my hands, Ignacy? Where are my hands? My hands, my hands, my hands! Okay. Now, mushroomed, we talking. Flower of Winter by from the father. The Valium Republic swindled me out of the Songretta Dulcala, denied me my born right to lead Sperento's government. I would not take such insult lying down. Skane was behind me all along, whispering into my ear, caressing my shoulder with skinless fingers. Together we sowed a rebellion. Now you can actually taste the fruit it bore. I can only imagine the day Sperento awoke to discover the empty halls of academia, the pillaged libraries. Where did our brightest minds go? Where are the animancers? They blame me, yet they had no one to blame but themselves. We journeyed to this frontier in defiance of the Valium Republics. We remain because our community is a living revolution, proof that we can thrive without a golden chain around our necks. That mushroomed out. Oh no. It's like my face could have been at the start. Quick save. Hello?
Teeth dancing in and out of my mouth.
That's upsetting.
Maxim, where did you go?
It's moving on her face.
My hands. Sharp tongue.
I'm beginning to think the Dream Surge, everyone also has the voice we do. It's just not clear for them and it's hurting them. But for us, we're okay for some reason. Or not.
No darkness. Only color.
You have anything to say, voice?
Ignacy. Where is Ignacy? My hands.
Okay, how about... And here I was hoping our healing ability might actually come into play. Right, come out, fellas. Fellas. Alright, Kite, you're getting shut in there. You son of a bitch. Thank you. Right, we need to talk about that. I hope it lets me. Because that's really bad. That could spread it throughout more of the city. Governor...
My mother is very sick. I'll thank you not to disturb her.
Why is your mother locked up in her bedroom?
I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal.
I do.
This conversation is over.
No, it's not. She has the Dream Scourge.
That is not a topic for discussion. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
You're gonna get this city infected!
Relax, I'm not cool, just asking questions.
I hate that. The game has, like, pointed it out, notified it, but... maybe when we go talk to Giatta, we can push the subject. You know, maybe that's the way around. God, I wish I'd gone in her basement beforehand. Really want to know. But now it'd be really rude. Damn it. Alright, just going to do a quick save here. We're going to have a quick bio break. And then we'll come talk to potentially our... I lifted my controller. I hit the grenade button by mistake. It's fine. Flames will die out. Everything's... Nothing to see here. We're of course new friends. It's all good. Dearie me. Alright, stretch your legs. Refill your beverage. I'll be back with yous in just a few minutes. I'll see you soon. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. Sorry for the delay. I had to crack the windows a bit because it is getting very, 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 very sweltering in here. Just hoping aforementioned wasps and bees don't come flying through. Hopefully my mic does not pick up the noise of the present pigeons woohooing their way across the sky constantly forever. Oh, it drives me mad. Right. Giata.
That did not go as I had planned.
Damn it.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Should see what he's doing to his mother.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego.
Focusing on the wrong problems, that's for certain.
What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior, Miss Iverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
You stuck to your principles. That's what matters.
I wish I could take credit for Giata's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long.
How so?
I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you.
Yeah, but what about that basement?
I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animals.
I'm being careful. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you.
Likewise. They should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days.
Think there might be a connection?
Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by...
You alright?
I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior, Miss Iverno. Forever.
Nothing ends. Think of this as a new beginning. We're new friends.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
Oy, oy, oy.
You'll be alright. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
I mean, fair, Marius, but... Squirrel?
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast.
Colleagues even talked to me after what happened to you?
Don't worry. Ignasi can't banish us all. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us.
Okay, is that west in town, or...?
Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial.
Oh yeah, we bumped into her.
She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior.
I think I have bumped into most of these.
Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge.
So what's your theory on the Dream Scourge?
I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
So...
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
You're not a party member? I'm confused.
I hope you aren't afraid of lightning. Where there's animancy, there's bound to be lightning.
On the contrary. We'll talk later.
Naturally. Be seeing you, my friend.
I want to go in the basement. No, I want to go in the basement. Oh, we should just go in the basement. Oh, we should. Where's the nearest fast travel point? It's not far. Why has that quest got... Oh, because they're bounty quests, right. Just checking with all these farmers. Maybe we try a party camp first. See if she's just there? Okay, Marius have stuff to say as well. Oh, upgrade materials. Don't forget to check the stores and remember that you may break down your lesser used weapons and armor to ensure you have enough upgrade materials. Also combine upgrade materials to create materials of high quality. Game letting me know shit's about to get real. Well, she is not yet at camp. Which leads me to believe there is more work to be done first.
Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a battle rock.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner.
The beetle mash?
The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping Sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
I'll remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
No.
That is different. Bear's natural prey doesn't tend to play flutes.
They might show up to get you to stop.
I've had this flute for years, and I have yet to be killed by a bear.
On second thought, maybe that's what's keeping them away.
Bless their little bits of banter. Marius.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her.
You don't think you'd stand up for what you believe?
It's more that I don't think my belief's worth standing up for. Life's simpler that way.
Oh, that's sad, Marius.
Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject.
Anything new about Emerald Stair?
Ask away.
Anything interesting about here?
I get a weird feeling when I get close to Lake Lacuna. Like there's something there that shouldn't be.
Any tips for surviving?
Let's see. Less urgency for shelter here. You can find shrubs to block the wind or tree cover to protect from rain. There's also plenty of food around too, if you know where to look. Rule of thumb, if it's red, don't eat it. Or if it makes you itch. There's also just about any kind of game you can imagine. Just make sure whatever you catch doesn't have mushrooms growing out of its face.
Stands to reason.
Oh, and be careful when you leave the roads. You never know when that deer you killed was some Delmgon's favorite pet. Careful in the western areas of Emerald Stair. Something lives out there, and I don't really care to know what.
Oh, we'll be going there.
I'm surprised at how much more deadly it is than it used to be. Hunting was great here, and there were edible plants everywhere. That's all still true, but I never used to worry about being strangled by a wild root while I sleep. Still, the challenge keeps things interesting, right? You earn every breath out here.
No, it just seems like it's going to be loads of different lines for different tips, and nothing else for now.
Right, changing the subject.
Any more about you right now?
Oh, good. Let's have it.
How did you learn your survival skills?
When I was a child in Solace, a warden named Alinka taught me the basics. what berries to eat, how to build a shelter, and so on. Later, I started going out on patrols, just to get experience in the wilds. By the time I was 15, I was going out on my own.
What did you do on... Oh, well, hang on. You still in touch with her?
No. She died on patrol in the Ash Forest several years back. By then, we already hadn't been speaking for years. We had a falling out over me sneaking out of the keep a few times when I was 17. Well, the few times she knew about. Turns out I was just good at surviving on my own. So I kept doing it, and I kept getting better at it.
So you left Solace because you didn't need it anymore?
Right. Changing the subject.
Wow. Why do you want to talk about your life?
Because it's not that interesting, really, and knowing about it won't keep you alive, and I don't like talking about it.
Okay.
So why pry? Wouldn't you rather your wilderness guide be happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past?
No, I think we're already there. When have you ever been happy and unburdened?
I think there was a period of 3 days when I was in training, but I might have dreamt it. I remember sleeping a lot.
There you go, that's life. I'll get you to open up somehow.
Ha! Not without a sharp blade or a barrel of Wodak, you won't.
What is Wodak? Clear, potent alcohol distilled and enjoyed by the Paragon dwarves. I'll work on it. That's enough for now.
Anyway, what do you need?
That's enough for now. Get some rest.
Until next time.
Kai, how about you?
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood.
I'm surprised no one else backed her up.
I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
It's easier to take orders and fall in line. Sometimes you need a united front.
You can't mount an attack if you're questioning every detail of the battle plan. But what if you see you're charging into a trap? That's what I admire about Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Oh, I love him so much. No community is perfect. I won't be so quick to abandon mine.
So, what kind of Korba would do something like that?
Oh, sorry, Marius.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Marius, come on.
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
We talk about something else for a moment.
What's on your mind?
You've been here before?
It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this...
threatening.
Exactly. Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the living lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement.
As if the land is pushing back. It doesn't want us here. Or it feels like they're reaching out to connect. Ooh, I like that.
You must have a death wish.
No.
Marius is right, and I don't usually say that in front of him. If you see anything that looks like it's trying to hug you, draw your weapon, or run.
I like hugs. What about Adamancy?
Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Very fair.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
I didn't realize Raotaians had a problem with animancy.
Not the same way Adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself.
Well, that's fair. I don't mind a little mystery.
Then I guess it's better that you're the one with a connection to something in the beyond.
All right. Good night, Kai.
Nudge me if you hear anything in the woods.
Skein totem. Still need the base. I'm surprised in that we've only found one piece, maybe loads of it's in the woods. Alright. Our unique
Marius,
stump.
did you leave a cleaning manual?
We've got a bunch of stuff. To keep. Oh, we have to use some of our awakened. We do it for the sword. Purple, which now requires the next batch. Can I craft the next batch? I can. It's a lot of stuff, but I can. Can I do one? 6 white steel chunks, 4 Admeth's word. Okay.
In my pack.
Lovely. I'd rather have the damage. See if we can get our armor up a bit, though. Needs the awakened Adra. I can craft... How many do I need? 3. Oh, hang on. I already had 1, didn't I? I did have 1. Okay. I need 3 more Stelgar leather, and 2 Adamant's word. Okay, I can make quite a few of these. Do want to do my pistol and book a little bit, though. I do need a better book at some point. Pistol first. Definitely don't want to spend the awakened Adra on that, though. Not yet. Okay, now we're running out of shit. Oh, I don't have enough of the older herbs to make them into the newer herbs. Damn, I do have the iron, at least, to make into steel. Craft as many of those as I can. I shouldn't do all of them. Just in case I need to bring some up, I'll do half. Same with the pelt. Leave the rest for now. But that should be a decent bump for the moment.
Doesn't ring a bell, but I suggest reading it when you...
There's no bonus things we can do with the enchantments either. Can't swap once done as well. Said it can't be undone, but...
It's rude not to read a book given as a gift.
Since when do you worry about being rude?
I'm just saying, maybe someone gave you that for a reason. I've noticed that camp supplies don't generally clean themselves.
Just telling him to wash up.
Weren't you telling me not to wash my clothes so much?
Well, the wilderness doesn't generally smell like boiled hardtack or peppered lithbark stew.
If this is about the time I burned your favorite pan trying to bake sweet pie in it, I'm still sorry, and I will still get you a new one. I don't know how you fit a cleaning manual in your pack anyway.
Well, I certainly wouldn't know, because I didn't give you that book.
I wonder how this plays out with more companions.
Say, you can always talk to me.
I don't think I've actually eaten much of my food. I should still have loads. Yeah, I have a lot of food and booze and need to cook yet. Probably should, just in case. Kind of ignoring the buff food at the moment. The porridge works pretty well. Anything that does both. Getting the buff food. If I was on a higher difficulty, I'd be worried by, but at the moment, I think we're good. Okay, so I assume before Giata actually joins the party, we need to get... Oh!
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame.
I should be camping more often.
Memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you.
Yeah, Ludwin seems on the warpath. You seem unsettled by Ludwin. Do you want to talk about it?
Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself.
We are gently turning. Hatred tends to.
Pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her.
Interesting. Like this first answer, we have, from what we've seen, we have no basis for that at all, but let's put with hope.
A false sheep.
Ah, there you go.
Light drowning out the shadows lurking within. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We... No.
Who did the burning, though? Did Ludwin hurt you specifically?
A storm from the same spark. All pain cuts with the same blade.
Wodica or zealots in general? Yeah.
Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it.
Violence isn't always the answer.
Cull or tend, the bear's blood nourishes the earth.
Didn't have the option to heal it.
The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen. Have care. Have care.
Yeah, we know she's going to attack the Animancers. I will have care. Right. Let's see if we can go and talk to the people nearby and hit the quests that are in the same region. And get to the point where we recruit Jana and get to that basement. See how quickly we can get away with that. Don't want to speak to the grain person. So... Oh, right, I forgot about that. Peregrine Cache is new. But now, to the west. Excuse me. Hello again.
Envoy, a pleasure as always.
Giata wants your opinion on the Dream Scourge.
Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town?
How did word travel, sir? Yeah, gossip travels fast in these parts.
Especially when a renowned animancer is shouting at the top of her lungs in the streets of Fior.
And I did just sleep for the night.
Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm.
I've helped you already.
I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Seal.
Oh, if you're talking about the Revenant in your barn, I've already dealt with him.
You did? That was quick.
I'm not angry about it.
Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace.
Okay. Gonna be alright?
I'll be fine. I've lost so many Revenants over the years, and I'm always such a wreck afterward. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen.
Why, my god, It's kind of cut off from the others and they can't assert their presence. We need to find the source of the difference, then any hope of stopping it.
But how to find something so well hidden? Can something so metaphysical even be found?
Oh boy.
Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say.
What if this has something to do with the entity tethered to my soul?
Seems a little far-fetched.
Does
then
it?
again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers.
Fascinating. I'm sure Giotto will be interested to hear this.
Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The next one. I think this is someone who just brushed us off last time when we were running about. Oh no! And the godlike drowned, and the adventure was over. Heavy plate armor sunk straight to the bottom.
Did you hear that Giata was sent into exile?
Wonder if she needs a new research partner.
Or maybe a test subject?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel.
Hello.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
What do you mean, found?
Do you think they can hear us?
Oh my god. My bark's over me nose, not my ears.
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend?
Excuse me? I can't blink at them with incomprehension. They can't see my eyes. You do realize that I understand you perfectly.
Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike.
Oh my god.
We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Why are you talking at me like I'm some kind of specimen in a jar?
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject.
Oh boy.
She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal?
Deal. Let's get it over with.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life?
Uh-oh.
Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Godlike again.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed.
I was hoping for
The
cat
fact
option.
remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us?
No resolve. I owe nothing. I try to help people wherever I can.
So, you believe we need your help?
Oh my god.
Interesting.
Bloody philosophers.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce.
We can't?
How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone?
Oh shit, that's news to me. Godlike can't reproduce? That explains a few things.
Oh, didn't anyone tell you?
Nope. No one has ever mentioned it.
Well, this is awkward.
I don't even know if that ever came up in the prior games.
Shame you had to learn it.
You had romance in the prior games.
Do you have an answer or not?
Don't have an answer.
Oh, that's too bad. For us, I mean. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
Okay.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Good news. I'll third up. I want you two to stop practicing animancy forever. Imagine the playthrough where you're just hating everyone here and all the necromancers. Good news, please, for the love of the gods.
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
That's not good news.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
Thank you, Marius.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
Okay.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Elia believes the Dream Scourge and Living Lands have a common ancestor.
That wouldn't surprise me. Both are natural occurrences, after all. Terrible, but quite natural.
Most natural things are. Terrible, that is.
Touché. One more question. What do I do about the entity tethered to my soul?
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Okay, that's tangible.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
We've killed ogres, Marius. It's fine.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Oh, great.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
How much of them upgrade materials you've got? You can investigate right now.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Kai.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
Plant. I see you on the map, Plant. Of course, I missed a few bits. Why wouldn't I have missed a few bits? Okay. Angered spirits there. Angered spirits by the Truffle House. And then, where's the other one? None of those. I guess the other Animancer is within the city then. Ghosts first. I explored this. How did I not? Obviously wasn't wig-waggling well enough. And happened to miss a bit. And here I thought I was being thorough, alas. Where are we? That one. Oh, suddenly a load of shadows down there. Again, it feels like another bit. No, I definitely was here. These have spawned after the fact. Hello! I got a stronger sword! Delicious. Bit of a better gun as well. Ah, they still resisted. Where those skeletons come from. Beautiful. Cleave and carve it all. What did that have to do with leaving food, though? Oh, there we go.
Seems like a waste to me, but it means something to them.
Yeah, I mean, there were angry spirits about. Maybe now there'll be less angry spirits about. Huzzah. Alright, next one. Truffle Farm. We go for the Ranger's Place, head a bit south. The others are further afield, so they'll be for another day. I still don't think charge is as good as just sprinting. Was worth a try. Ghosts. Don't mind me sneaking up behind you. Love that ragdoll. Oh, sorry, Marius. Nearly took your head off.
You know, I get the symbolism of giving perfectly good food to the dead. I just think it's dumb.
Yep, that's fair. The beloved truffle farmers who were called to fly at Ilia's side far too soon. We honour your sacrifice. Surely as the wilds claimed your lives, we will reclaim your lands so that your work may live on after you. For the truffles! Okay, the rest should all be outside, other than getting her told off by the farmer, but we're not going to be doing that. Okay, one more to speak to here. Then we go back and speak to Giata, and then we see where the game leaves us before calling it for the evening. If the weather weren't so hot, I'd probably happily go for another hour or so. But I need to leave this room for at least an hour. I even have the windows open. We've been really lucky that's not flown in. Usually in years past when I'm at my desk and I've left windows open, that's just prime targets for insects wanting a good fly, especially the more stingy kind. Or those fucking mayflies. Gods, I hate mayflies. Stupid, pointless creatures that can barely fly in a straight line and just wiggle in front of your face and make the stupidest noise. Yeah. Daddy Longlegs, as we call them here, which I know is something else. How did I miss this entire building? I'll be right with you, sir. I'm just having a nosy. Not so many books.
What do you think of Giata's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little...
More stained glass.
Unpredictable. Like the essence has no sense of direction.
How did you know?
We should talk, but not here.
No, here. Explain yourselves. Alright, books, come on. My throat can handle it. We're okay. The many pitfalls of imp husbandry, on the efficacy of imps, and the alchemy of imp spray. Oh no, this all sounds like a trilogy. Start with the efficacy. Time-worn adage among practitioners of the arcane arts avers that early wizards compelled imps to service not out of a desire for the assistance, but to banish them from underfoot. I doubt it not at all, for one could not conjure more unruly, noisome, maladroit, or irascible aid? All of those were new words to me, all three of them. Why then do we employ these diminutive meddlers? Imps, dear reader, are to a wizard's sanctum as rats are to a ship. Without a malign instinct or pure mischievousness, they infiltrate our laboratories with alarming regularity. Ninagarth conjectures in his Sensitivity of Simpletons that imps infest any locus of concentrated mystical influence, and accounts of the creatures lurking among the uninhabited ruins of Engwyff seem to corroborate his superstitions or suppositions. Yet a wizard's domicile seems to possess a particular appeal to them, regardless of whether it resides at a nexus of spiritual power or no. Left to their own devices, the winged miscreants accrue loose baubles, hoarding them in filthy dens as often as not, established in our cupboards and privies. Seemingly possessed of an antiquity dealer's discernment, each prefers to pilfer the most valuable paraphernalia and potent artifacts, yet they remain pathetically inept in the use of even the simplest gewgaw. I admit, the imp's general incompetence makes them appealing retainers. One of the little cretins may displace a favoured wand of elemental power, but little peril exists of it activating the instrument and immolating your collected volumes of arcana. The same cannot be said of apprentices. Yet the beasts present a danger to the unwary. They possess a low cunning not unlike that of the Zorip and Orlans. Oh wow, this person put Orlans in the camp of Zorips and imps. Not good. Without a domineering hand to direct them, imps rapidly regress to their base instincts. As a result of their propensity for pack behaviour, even transitory leniency of a single imp can imperil a wizard's entire collection. Good to know, I suppose, game. Imp husbandry or spray first? Spray first. I kept a pair of imps caged for the better part of 3 decades. I scripted volume 5 of my series, Scent Languages of the Perverse. Every day the duo would fill the air from their glands as they communicated across the distance. I got to understand the alchemy of their spray by standing in its path and allowing the fetid effluvium to wash over me. Such wondrous effluvium, so potent, it hovers over me still. Oh, this is gross. Just as I had written the last page as what was to be my greatest work, the dialect of their spray changed entirely, rendering my findings useless. Oh, but how they laughed at my expense. I know the smell of failure. It is the reek of 30 years' worth of concentrated imp fart sprayed into one's face, and the bitterness of having no academic recognition to show for. Yeah, how about the husbandry? Surely this can't be worse. This book narrates one scholar's dissection of all matters relating to the care of household imps, focusing notably on their cleaning and housebreaking. One passage has been underlined with a deep press of a quill. Never allow imps to learn spells or wield artifacts of power. Their bodies sponge up the essence remainder and grow exponentially larger in size. One of my household servants pilfered a ring from my collection and grew to the size of an auroch before I had him properly drained. The glands also grow more pungent than mere writing can hope to encompass, so beware. All very useful things to know about imps, I am sure. Again, Dev's not just putting that in there, it might just be putting in there for world building and funnies, but I am now sure an imp will appear. The moons, however. I wonder if this will inform me of why there are like purple shivers of one. Look up into the night sky and you'll see the moon Belafar. Ubiquitous and persistent, she remains forever in view, but also forever out of reach. What many people do not know, however, is that our world is actually orbited by 2 moons, Belafar and Kaldha. Belafar. Hanging low and large in the sky, Belafar travels swiftly in her race around the world, completing an orbit in about 18 days. Its proximity and speed can cause extreme tide conditions in some areas, making the sea shift so quickly and rise so high that there are some beautiful coastal areas that are virtually uninhabitable for a good portion of the year. Before we learn the truth behind the causes of the tides, legend held that Ondra, the goddess of the sea, was in love with the moon, and when she saw it in the sky, the tides, great waves, and violent storms that happened were her attempt to reach it. This is why the moon is formally called Sen Befala, or Ondran Befala, the beloved, or Ondra's beloved. Aldvar. 115 years ago, the Grand Empire of Valia suffered from terrible storms and terrifyingly high and low tides. Records show the same thing was happening in the Adir Empire, and that several new Adiran colonies along the Deerwood coast were completely destroyed by storms and high tides that engulfed the settlements. At that time, during an eclipse, Lanfartham astronomers spotted something small orbiting near the edge of Belafar. After much study, they realized it was a small satellite with an extremely irregular orbit. They called it Kaldanar Deb, or the Black Runner. Since it was smaller than Belafar, it doesn't have much effect on the world, but when it aligns with Belafar's orbit, it wreaks havoc on the tides and weather everywhere. This happens when an erratic frequency and severity and has been dubbed Lover's Tides. Aldhar has been rolled into Ondra's myth, and when they are both in sight, the desire to reach them is increased tenfold, which is what caused the terrible weather. We had someone talking about going to the moon, and now there's a small floaty moon that moves erratically, I tell you, before this game ends. Or they're setting that up for some game in the future. But moon-related hijinks don't seem impossible to me from here. What else have we got in here? We got a big machine, which is missing a heart, apparently. Tides and moons, another. A natural historian's account. We've all heard the legends of Ondra and Senbafals, and the explanation that the goddess's love for the moon causes the tides. And as men and women of science, we know this to be but a shadow of truth. Yet there is another myth that we have been quicker to dismiss, and I wonder if it does not merit further explanation. Ondrites tell of a smaller moon, Ione Brafair, and that the goddess supposedly pulled from the sky in an earlier age. And while such a thing seems impossible, Ione Brafar still roams the sky above. It is true that explorers in the far reaches have found mineral fragments that do not naturally occur on any known continent in Eora. Pardon me. Furthermore, naturalists in Adir, Rotai, and the Deerwood have observed the remains of an ancient ocean life many miles inland. Such a thing would only be possible if Seora's oceans had once been larger, or, as I here propose, if a catastrophic flood had once washed over the continents. A few phenomena could have caused a flood of this magnitude. A large body falling into the seas might just do the trick. In these pages, I will explain how some force of nature, if not an amorous goddess, could have pulled a small moon into Aora millennia ago. Notes. Forget me not tonic. Instructions for use. Take 1 cupful approximately 1 hour before beginning tedious activity. If administered correctly, time should appear to pass more quickly and tasks should feel more tolerable. Side effects may include amnesia surrounding the dosage period. Oh yeah, let's skip the day. That seems like an addictive problem waiting to happen.
I can't let anyone else discover this.
What have you done?
Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now.
Look exhausted. When was the last time you slept?
I'm not concerned with that. Not now.
His voice is so serious.
Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much Adra to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck?
Wouldn't that be a good thing?
No. To harness these forces for so small a price is too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Ethelmir's treatise on Wotica. Perhaps she's right. Maybe animancy should be reined in.
Flexible, there's no such thing as too much power now. Set an example. Show your colleagues it can be used for good.
How can I?
I hope I haven't sent this man to die.
I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I won't publish anything until I'm absolutely sure.
There. Monsters of the Deadfire Archipelago. Ooh, from the second game. Archipelago wins its way between the Great Eastern Ocean and the Restless Ocean. Hundreds of small islands in the midst of the water. Few dare brave its treacherous rapids, who still have returned to tell the tale of their adventures through it. R2 was so good, just having your own ship, all the sea shanties sailing around between islands. It was a lot of fun to explore. Travel between the two oceans is virtually impossible. Great storms hammer any ship foolhardy enough to attempt to navigate, and this alone should be enough to deter anyone from attempting the voyage as untold ships have gone down, tossed against the rocks. The weather and treacherous rocks are only a precursor to the actual horror of the archipelago, terrors of the deep. No one knows how many creatures stalk the oceans, waiting for unsuspecting sailors to drift into their waters. But we do know of some. The barbed rap. Now, I can't remember any of it. It's been a long time since I played Pillars 1 or 2. We'll see. Barbed Ravager. A giant shark that is known to ram passing vessels, trying to knock sailors off the deck and smash a hole in the hull. It has tremendous spines protruding from its side and back, that are presumed to be poisonous. The largest sighted Barbed Ravager, with survivors, was estimated to be almost 30 feet long. A Winding Serpent. Smaller than the Ravager, but potentially longer. The Winding Serpent attacks in small packs, usually free to wait. They have long, sharp heads, somewhat reminiscent of a barracuda. Like the Ravager, they repeatedly slam into the side of a ship, hoping to crack a hole in it or knock someone from the deck. They've also been known to swim to the depths and shoot up out of the ocean, landing on the deck, coiling and winding their way around, snapping up any crew they can before plunging back into the ocean. Leviathan. Imagine the largest whale you have ever seen. The Leviathan is at least 10 times that size. By the time a ship sees a Leviathan, it's already too late. As they rise from the depths, the water around them begins to spin and sink, creating a whirlpool. The Leviathan's body surrounds the hapless vessel, preventing escape as it goes down, the enormous mouths open, pulling all aboard to their watery deaths. Polpovir. All the creatures you've read about in this book are nothing compared to the Polpovir. Barely the size of a man. What they lack in size and strength they make up for in numbers and are terrifyingly vicious. The lower halves are a mass of tentacles like an octopus or squid, but more numerous. The tentacles are long, black whips with suction cups on the underside and small funny barbs on the top. The sheer number of tentacles gives them frightening speed when walking on land, pulling themselves forward almost as fast as a running horse. While they vaguely resemble a human from the waist up, any extended examination proves how wrong that assumption is. Long, stringy black hair falls from the top of their heads to cover a face taken directly from a nightmare. A wide, gaping mouth cuts across the bottom of its head from ear to ear, full of wicked dagger-like teeth. Two large round eyes are sunken into its head, black as coal, shining with a malevolent fire. Small antennae protrudes from the middle of its forehead, ending in a small nodule that can glow with an eerie blue light. One can imagine a sailor on the deck of a ship at night, looking out across the black water, blood freezing as countless lights appear beneath the surface, rising towards him as the Pulphavia swarm upwards. Because they seem to be more octopus than man, they can collapse in on themselves, fitting into spaces no person should be able to. The smallest crack in a hull, the slightest separation between boards offers them entrance. It is not unknown for them to slaughter an entire crew from hold up to deck by infiltrating the ship from underneath. Fortunately, they do not seem to have spread too far outside of the archipelago. But there may come a day when Pulpavia attacks become commonplace. Terrifying. I don't remember them, and that was probably by choice on my part. I probably quelled a memory if they did appear in that game. Hopefully that doesn't mean they're appearing in this one. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want that at all. My rejection of so-called ethics by Monto Pastor. Oh, so this is the fellow we're about to talk to. Go on. Animency is a magnet for naysayers who cherish ignorance over progress and safety over opportunity. I do not deny that our art has produced some misfortune over the years. Balereach, Brackenberry, the events at the Castell House, to name a few. Why should these isolated incidents cast such a long shadow? When a ship sinks to the bottom of the ocean, no one forces merchants to abandon their trade. I say we resist societies and just calls to smash our machines and burn our research. We are animancers. Society is welcome to join us, but we won't hesitate to leave them in our dust. So, there's two sides of a coin, right? Two extreme. Summit meeting notes on the Dead Fire event. 2,829 AI. That might be specifically Pillars 2. Spiritual disturbance in the Deadfire Archipelago. Governor Ignacio Vidaro proceeding. All agree that a disturbance shook the metaphysical veil between here and the beyond. Ask about capitalization. Cause of disturbance unknown. Experiment gone wrong. Rumours of giant Adra statue dismissed as mass hallucination. No, that was a whole thing in that game. Like, that was like Aeophus literally walking across the ocean. Pierre Quilisili, I'll get his name right eventually. Request to contract Republic's associates for second opinion. Governor Vidaro denies the motion. Verdict, results inconclusive. No action required at this time. And that is why we did nothing about that second game.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
Workshop etiquette. Rule 1. Clean up after your experiments. I don't want to see stagnant puddles or shards of Adra where people are expected to walk. Rule 2. Label your experiments. Is your corpse a terrible accident or a work in progress? Rule 3. No stealing resources. Governor Vidaro grants us what we need for our assigned duties and not copper wire more. No one should have to steal. Rule 4. Elia Roswell is not allowed inside the workshop. Self-explanatory. Rule 5. No food or drink. From now on, research notes stained with spilled tea will not be accepted.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something, and
Oof.
look what happened to them.
Damn. Recent history of Queen Berth's the arrival of the Valians. Okay. Last swig of his tea. Or might be the last book for the day. Oh, very little tea. It's alright, throat. We'll get through. There's some honey in there. Excerpted from a letter by Wing Wakari, a Huanan historian, from a collection of her personal writings. Valian's arrival in Nekataka was not unexpected. Our fisherfolk had watched them lurk near the edges of our territory for months. The ships like the keen eyes of a jeweller, inspecting us, already counting the coin they'd make on a prize so fine as the Deadfire. They were not the first to watch us so. Doubtless they will not be the last. We were not certain what it was they wanted, first aside from whatever it was we had. When Okaiza sent an envoy of Mataru to speak with them, they made noise about desiring trade and cultural exchange. What, exactly, it was they intended to trade or what manner of cultural exchange they thought might entice us wasn't immediately clear. We were not naive. We knew their arrival spelled change for the Deadfire. Surely as we know that rain falls in the monsoon season. The Valian and the Rautwai and the different, factions within those people and the Empire were all factions you engaged with in that second game, and you had reputations go up and down with each of them. And by the end of the game, it was like, do we sail to take on the last boss alone? Do we have their fleets come with us? How many can we get with us? There was a lot of political intrigue in that one that I really enjoyed. And even going up and down with it all, I still thought, fuck it, and went in alone anyway. Seemed more fun that way, though none of them were happy about that. Trouble came in how we would manage the Valian's influence, how we would contain it. Better they think as partners than easy marks. The thinking at the palace went at the time. We could not risk war with them, as a fractured a people as we are, and any hope of winning it no matter the power of our water shapers. As leader of Kahanaga, Onikaza decided for us. I might have met that character in the second game. She allowed the Valians to set down roots in Queen's Birth and began limiting mining operations in the archipelago. She suggested this might ease trade and tension between our peoples and theirs, but in truth, I believe she only wanted to keep an eye on them. I sympathise with her point of view, but I cannot endorse it, because Onikaza forgot the truth of roots, that they are silent, grasping hands of trees, and that a tree once established cannot be moved without destroying the ground beneath it. But it was done. The Valians quickly made themselves at home, and the ensuing conflict over who had the rights to which islands, which Ardra veins, which trading routes only served to fracture Huana further. Then the Rautayans arrived. By that point, it was too late. Colonials were in the dead fire to stay. Now Huanan refugees flood into Nekataka from across the archipelago, complaining of lost land and dwindling resources, and the trading companies fight a quiet war against each other with our doorsteps at the front. Nagati guide us in this trying time. That feels like the start of that game. Like you kind of go in sometime after all that has happened. Alright, let's quick save and have a natter with this fella.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but
Oh, there was another piece of paper on the desk.
A godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
What do you know about metaphysical anomalies in the living lands?
More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked.
That's not good. Could have said your machine could help her research.
Yes, her theory of the dream scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source.
Is there any way we can help?
Perhaps, if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Ardra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove.
At the risk of stating the obvious, we're standing in front of a massive Ardra pillar.
Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence.
Let me just... Adragans are ancient beings who are spiritually bound to an Ardra pillar. They defend their home pillars until death against encroaching civilization, explorers, or anyone they perceive to be a threat. Doesn't tell me specifically what this creature is, but sure. I'm sure maybe in other games I'll have fought one. I can't even remember.
The grove is to the west across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there.
Ooh.
You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith.
Diplomacy!
So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards.
No, I'll see what I can do.
Do be careful. Emerald Stair
I bet I'm going to
is
kill
not
them by
itself
accident
these
and then
days.
just miss diplomacy, and that'll suck.
Well, let's go. That Adragon's heart isn't going to yank itself out.
Kumo's invitation. To my colleagues, friends, and naysayers, you're hereby invited to a demonstration of my latest achievement, that of spiritual self-combustion. But oh, it's the guy who was on the scaffolding. Bear witness, as I set fire to my very essence merely to prove that I can. Do you doubt me? Then come watch me fail. Do you trust me? Then come watch me go out in a blaze of glory. Either way, you'll be entertained. Anticipate a large and captive audience. Giacomo Belluccio. And it was just me, and it wasn't really an audience. I just heard it in passing. The poor bastard. Right, let's check in with Gianna, whose house is to my right. See if she's coming with us yet.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest.
I've met with Elia.
I hope you had an enlightening visit at the corpse farm. Elia is one of my favorite neighbors, second only to Quilici.
If she is a companion, I don't necessarily want to go and explore this entire landmass without her, because it's a home. But if I have to do some main quest, then come back to get her, then go out again, I like doing it all in one go.
When her best farmhand got stuck up a tree, I got him down in one piece. Well, several pieces. I've always looked up to her.
I had a very polite exchange with Yvette and Remy.
I hate to admit it, but I saw that one coming. Those two don't get out much. When Ignacy took away their research funding, I pulled some strings to get it back. He told me I was a fool, but they'll prove him wrong someday. I have faith.
We'll talk later.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Maybe she's not a companion and I'm overthinking things. Which is that's Animancy method. Oh yeah, the main quest is all the way over here. At the far reaches. And I'm not one to just immediately go straight over to it. Oh well, Giata, if you are a companion, we will have plenty of time to talk. In the next zone. Oh dear. I haven't even got a quest to go here yet. Man, I don't even know. I don't know where we're going to go next time. There's so many different areas. Seems to indicate, without many quests down, like these are bounties and Kai's thing. Right, that's Kai's. I think so. Do I cut across the woods and get to it first so I can see if that's the case with her? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Something to dwell on for the evening. I think for today, though, with all that, I will say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed yourselves, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps push the video through the algorithm so more folks come hang out, play some games with us. Subscribe for more content here on the channel. On the weekdays we're at 9 AM GMT with World of Warcraft, and on the evenings we're between 4 and 6 streaming other games. You can find playlists to all the stuff we've already covered, including the rest of Avowed, right here on the channel to binge to your heart's content. So until next time folks, much love, take care, and bye bye.